The number 20 ranked Razorbacks haven't won here at War Memorial since 2013, but today they finally got a victory back in Little Rock, blowing out Alcorn State 52-10. Most of the high schools in our area are wrapping up their preseason tonight, but that's not the case here in Muldrow as a pair of Sequoyah County rivals clash it out as Vian rolls into town tonight. For the first time in 3 years, the Ozark Hillbillies are in the running for the 4A state title, but their first round opponent tonight is probably the toughest team they faced all season. Just last Sunday, the number 2 player in the world, Brooke Henderson, defeated the number 1 ranked Lydia Coe. Now this weekend, the two will face off against each other here at Pinnacle Country Club. Welcome back to Titans on 2. It's time for our final Ask the Coach question of the night, and this one comes from Titans superfan Brooke Jackson. Brooke starts by saying, "Thank you. Could you please talk through our strategy the last 3 minutes of the game?" Andrew, there was a lot of excitement surrounding this game, considering that it was the first time in a little over a decade that Arkansas and Oklahoma State have faced off against each other, but the reunion did not go well for the Razorbacks, with the Cowboys overpowering them 99-71 here in Stillwater. Oklahoma State was explosive from the start. The Cowboys were up 7-0 just minutes into the game. The Hogs struggled to recover. Their biggest weakness exposed in this game was the fouls against them, especially in the first half. 18 fouls were called in the first 15 minutes of the game, 12 on Arkansas.
What I thought for today, especially that they wrote it throughout. Seemed like every time they had open shot, they made it. And they got to the free throw line an awful lot. The fouls that took place, that occurred, I thought it put us off on our defense. I mean, our guys couldn't even get in the same spirit, guys, and I thought that was me was the most disappointing thing.
Well, this was a strange game for Arkansas. Their usual leading scorer, Daryl Macon, was scoreless today, but there was one bright spot. Jalen Barford, he had a career day, scoring 21 points in the loss. Well, Arkansas will now pick up the pieces as they head back home to take on Alabama next. From Stillwater, Brooke Grimsley, 5 News Sports. The number 20 ranked Razorbacks haven't won here at War Memorial since 2013, but today they finally got a victory back in Little Rock, blowing out Alcorn State 52-10. For the first time this season, Arkansas had 2 running backs run for over 100 yards, one of those being freshman Devwall Whaley.
We want to get Devwall more carries each game. He keeps getting better. He made a nice couple reads today, a nice couple looks. He's definitely a change of pace, fresh legs, and can scoop.
Just the way those guys ran today, I mean, Devwall really showed a different burst out there on that 75-yard touchdown run than just Raleigh. I mean, he's a workhorse for us, and he's really running well.
It was a breakout performance for Whaley. His 75-yard touchdown run was his first score as a Razorback, something he had been patiently waiting his turn for.
Oh, it felt great. It was a great feeling, and it's a blessing. Give God all the glory. I'm only a freshman, so, you know, like I said, I'm just taking it day by day and learning from Riley and Cody and just waiting my turn.
Well, this win wrapped up non-conference play for the Hogs, but they have a quick turnaround with the number 1 ranked Alabama heading to Fayetteville next. From Little Rock, Brooke Grimsley, 5 News Sports. Well, Andrew, today was the semifinal round here at Van Buren High School. Only a handful of local teams were left. First up in the girls' game, it was the Van Buren Lady Pointers versus the North Little Rock Charging Wildcats. Van Buren hopes home court advantage will work in their favor against the Wildcats. Lainey Snowden backed up and banks the triple at the top of the key for Van Buren. A few plays later, Dylan Brown in the corner gets in on the 3-point action. Fourth quarter, Lady Pointers trailing. Jalen McKinney cuts into the lead with a layup. 6'1" Yomaris Morris is just too much under the basket. She gets 1 for 2. NOR wins this one 45-38 over Van Buren. The Charging Wildcats are the reigning state champs and will move on to the state finals next week in Hot Springs. In tonight's boys game, it's going to be a Northwest Arkansas versus River Valley matchup. Springdale Harbor is going to take on Northside. The winner will move on to the state finals in Hot Springs, Arkansas. From Van Buren, Arkansas, Brooke Grimsley, 5 News Sports. Senior Alex Matlock originally went to Fayetteville High School but transferred to Mountainburg to be closer to family. That move has proven to be beneficial not only to him but also for Mountainburg's basketball team. We caught up with the Dragons to see how Matlock has been a key player for the program. In Tuesday's game against Union Christian, Mountainburg's leading scorer Alex Matlock took a hit to the head in the first half of the game, sidelining him for most of the second quarter. His absence early on greatly affected the Dragons.
I went in the the ball missed, and I went in for a rebound, and his shoulder came in to hit me.
When he's not on the floor, other guys are, you can tell, kind of question, all right, who's going to step up and who's going to make some plays. And so when he's not out there, it definitely makes things harder for us.
When Matlock returned to the game after halftime, the Dragons were down 18-4, but the senior, who averages almost 20 points per game, did what he's done for his team all season, igniting the offense, leading a second-half comeback to defeat the Eagles 39-35 in overtime.
I think he hit 3 in a row just in the span of a minute or two, and all of a sudden from down 19, we're down 7 or whatever it was, and we were able to feed off that.
Matlock's effort in that game is nothing new. The senior has been a key leader for the Dragons since transferring from Fayetteville his sophomore year. Even though it was an adjustment going from a 7A to a 2A school, Matlock's teammates helped him through the transition.
My first year, I didn't really get to play much, but last year and this year, I was able to step out and be a leader. I just love playing with these guys. I'm a senior, Quincy Pixley. He's been a good teammate to me, and they welcomed me.
Matlock and Mountainburg are hoping to make a deep playoff run, but right now they are just approaching the season one game at a time.
Mainly our goal this year, I'd like to go to state, but we have to go through district and regionals to get there first. So I'm taking a game at a time.
After high school, Matlock hopes to play for the University of Arkansas Fort Smith's basketball team. We caught up with some of the fans before the game, and here's what they had to say about the excitement of the new season.
Buy your programs. For us baseball fans, it's Christmas Eve. I mean, Christmas Eve has now become Christmas Day.
All right, y'all have a good game.
The road to Omaha is always fun here.
Baseball has returned to the Hill, and fans who packed bomb were excited about the Diamond Hogs and the perfect baseball weather.
This is incredible. I love it. Last year was this way, and this year is just unbelievable again.
Actually, we were coming up for the basketball game, and then we realized we had opening season of baseball and thought we'd throw it in too, especially the weather, the way it is.
Today marked a fresh start for Arkansas baseball, something that not only the players are excited for, but also the fans.
I'm really excited. I just hope we do a lot better than we did last year.
Dave Van Horn puts out a great product, and this team, I have no doubt, is going to bounce back from our 13-game losing streak last year.
With a new year comes new hopes, and fans are wishing for another trip to Omaha for the Razorbacks.
We're going to be up there, and I have season tickets up there, so I'm ready to go again.
If you weren't able to make it today, fans who attended the game have a message for you.
Y'all need to come on out and see Baum Stadium and see the Arkansas Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks women's basketball team hit the road this weekend, traveling to Baton Rouge for a rematch against LSU, a team that handed them a loss at home earlier this month. The Razorbacks were hoping to avenge their close loss to LSU at Bud Walton Arena. The Hogs were able to hold off the Tigers in the first quarter until Rena Hill banks the first bucket for LSU. Malika Monk fires back with a 2-point jumper to push the Hogs ahead. Aaliyah Wilson, she goes from deep and helps Arkansas lead 20-13 going to the second with this shot. Second quarter now, Devin Cosper, she's going to miss the jumper, but Bailey Zimmerman gets the rebound and the putback for the Razorbacks, but turnovers start to hamper the Hogs. It's going to be a steal by LSU's Moncrief, and she's going to take it down the court to a quick pass to Richard Harris under the basket for the layup. Arkansas leads just by 2 going into the break. Tigers' Chloe Jackson with a 3. Jackson comes in clutch once again for the Tigers, hitting the game-tying 2-point jumper. Fourth quarter, Moncrief flies down the lane for a layup to extend the Tigers' lead. Malika Monk, she's going to be on the wing to drain the 3, but it's just not enough to help the Hogs. After leading in Baton Rouge, the Razorbacks were unable to hold off LSU, falling to the Tigers for the second time this season, 53-46. Arkansas's Jessica Jackson led all scorers in the game with 15 points. The Razorbacks will look to snap their 2-game losing streak when Georgia comes to town on Thursday. Arkansas faced Oklahoma State in the Big 12 SEC Challenge yesterday, but the Razorbacks didn't pose much of a threat to the Cowboys in Stillwater. Oklahoma State came into the battle averaging 88 points per game, and they hit that mark with a little over 7 minutes left to play in the game. Then they went on to surpass it, cruising to a 99-71 victory over the Hogs. Arkansas was outplayed, especially defensively. The 99 points allowed were the most this season. This was a loss that exposed that the Hogs still have a way to go in order to make a run for the NCAA tournament in March, but they say the heartbreak at Oklahoma didn't damage their confidence heading back into SEC play.
It seemed like we were half step slow, so maybe that had something to do with it. But we got to learn from it. I think that's the key. You know, the hardest thing is you're in your conference, you're in the family, you're playing, you're getting after, you're in the race, and then you have to jump out. And to come over here, and Oklahoma State's playing well.
No, it don't affect us confidence at all. It just keep going in the conference and push us more to show us where we at right now outside of league play.
Yesterday was the much anticipated SEC West battle between number 16 ranked Arkansas and number 1 ranked Alabama. The Crimson Tide got off to a fast start last night, and they never relinquished the lead in Fayetteville. Nick Saban is undefeated against Arkansas, while under his reign he was looking to stay that way. Alabama wastes no time. Crimson Tide QB Jalen Hurts with the quarterback keeper for a 5-yard touchdown, and it's Hurts again, this time for a 6-yard touchdown run. Bama takes a very early commanding lead, 14-0. Minutes left in the first, though. Austin Allen, he's going to find Jeremy Sprinkle right there for a 24-yard pass. Touchdown, Arkansas. They get on the board 14-7. Second quarter, Jalen Hurts to Damian Harris. Harris breaks through the Hogs defense. He can't be brought down. He hauls it in for a 56-yard touchdown. This play is amazing, though. Heavy coverage in the end zone. Allen to Hatcher with just seconds to go in the half. Going to the third quarter now, though. Austin Allen deep in the end zone, 35-17 Alabama. Austin Allen is intercepted by Fitzpatrick, and it's going to set it up really easy for Alabama's offense. Hurts with a 4-yard pass to Calvin Ridley. Fourth quarter now, 42-24 Alabama. Austin Allen, once again, he's going to be intercepted by Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick, he's going to return it an amazing 100 yards for the touchdown. The Hogs still managed to push back and threaten the number 1 ranked Alabama, but in the end, the Crimson Tide wins it 49-30, and Arkansas is off to an 0-2 start in SEC play before taking on Ole Miss next. Despite the loss, it was still a career night for Austin Allen. He had a career-best 400 yards on 25 of 48 passing in the game, and it was his second 300-plus yard game of the season. Mississippi State getting back into action after a week off, so plenty of time to prep for Auburn, right? Well, Auburn getting on the board early in the first as Sean White hits Ryan Davis with a 3-yard score. It's 7-0 with Tigers in the lead, and it only gets worse for Mississippi State there, especially later in the half. Cameron Petway with his 3rd touchdown run of the half to make it 28-0 Auburn. Petway with career highs of 39 carries and 169 yards. The time off, it doesn't help the Bulldogs at all. State ends up losing 38-14 to fall 2-3 overall. Well, number 9 ranked Tennessee facing off against number 8 Texas A&M, both undefeated. Only one, of course, can remain that way in the fourth quarter. It's down to the wire. Here's a sight that Arkansas fans will remember all too well. Aggies QB Trevor Knight showing off his wheels with a 62-yard touchdown run. It's now 35-21 A&M. With less than a minute left, the Vols do what seems to be their theme of the season, pulling off a miracle in the fourth. Josh Dobbs to Alvin Kamara. This game goes into double OT, but Texas A&M, they run away with the win 45-38. The Diamond Hogs blasted past the Tide to claim their 3rd straight SEC opener victory yesterday, but tonight Alabama was the one with the firepower. Alabama is trying to put an end to the Diamond Hogs' hot streak, scoreless on both sides going into the second inning. Freshman Jackson Williams at the plate with a guy on second, smashes it past the third baseman Grant Cook. He barely makes it home, and Arkansas gets on the board first 1-0, but in the bottom of that same inning, things go south for the Hogs. Trevor Steffens starting on the mound. In just a little over 1 inning, he allowed 4 runs off 4 hits, and his reliever, Kevin Kopps, also ran into some trouble, giving up 3 runs off 5 hits tonight. The reason behind Alabama's success, their starting pitcher Dylan Duarte. The Crimson Tide didn't even have to go to the bullpen until the 9th inning. He had a masterful outing, pitching 8 innings, allowing just 6 hits and 1 run while striking out 4 with a little over 100 pitches. The rubber match between the Hogs and the Tide will be at 3 p.m. tomorrow.